Hi, I'm Debra, this is Booking with Debra. Today's video is my TBR, so the books that I am planning to read for the Disability Readathon 2022. The Disability Readathon is hosted by Erin and Anna. I will link their channels and their announcement videos in the description box down below. I have been a subscriber of Erin's from way before I had my own channel, and I followed along with her Disability Readathon before I had a channel, so it's really lovely to actually be able to participate this year by making my own TBR video. I'm going to run through the different prompts for the readathon and the books that I'm planning to read for the prompts. The idea of this year's Disability Readathon is that there are 4 categories that Erin and Anna have come up with, and they are encouraging people to pick one challenge from each of the 4 categories, so potentially reading a total of 4 books in April. They're very flexible in terms of identifying what they mean by reading, so they're just saying that it counts that you're participating in the Disability Readathon if you are reading texts of any description, so that can be online articles, it could be a magazine article, it could be a novel, it could be a short story, it could be a picture book, anything really, any form of media. They're saying it, as long as it's disability themed, it counts for the readathon. They are encouraging people to ensure that what they consume is own voices work. In Erin and Anna's announcement videos, in their descriptions, they have linked to the website that they've created for this readathon, and I think they've provided links to a whole list of suggested books that you might want to consider and other interesting and useful resources and information. So please do go check out their announcement videos and the descriptions in their announcement videos if you want more information. So there is a group read this year, and the group read is Disability Visibility, which is an essay collection edited by Alice Wong. So this is an anthology that gives a glimpse into the complexity of the disabled experience, highlighting the passions, talents and everyday lives of this community. It invites listeners to question their own understandings. It celebrates and documents disability culture in the now. So unfortunately I don't own this book, and my library does not have a copy either in paper form or an audible form or in an audio form. I'm thinking about, I might participate in the group read and see if I can get it on Audible. So that's something that I'm thinking about potentially, but it is a book I would really like to read at some point if I can. So the first category that Erin and Anna have come up with is category 1, and the things that you can do in this category are play a tabletop game by a disabled creator or read its rulebook, read a poetry collection, read a book by a deaf or hard of hearing author, or read a banned book. So the book that I am planning to read for this category kind of ticks 2 of those prompts, and it is Perseverance by Raymond Antrobus. This is a poetry collection by a British Jamaican poet. The poetry collection is about loss, language and praise, and explores the deaf experience, the death of his father and the failure to communicate. Ranging across history, time zones and continents, this book operates in the in-betweens or dual heritages of form and expression, emerging to show us what it means to exist and to flourish. So this is a book that I've got on order at the library, which I'm hoping to pick up very soon. The second category, so category two, the prompts are read a mystery or thriller, pick a book at random from their recommended reads list, which as I said you can get from their announcement videos, read a text centred on invisible disability, read a text by a trans creator. So the book that I'm considering reading for this prompt also ticks 2 of the prompts, and that is Girl in the Window by Penny Joelson. The main character in this book has ME or chronic fatigue syndrome, and the author also has ME, also describes herself as having ME or chronic fatigue syndrome. It's also a sort of mystery thriller. So this is a bit of background on this book. Cassia experiences chronic illness that keeps her stuck at home, watching the outside world from her bedroom window. So when she witnesses what looks like a kidnapping, she's not sure whether she can believe her own eyes. There had been a girl in the window across the street who must have seen something. But when Cassia ventures outside to find her, she's told the most shocking thing of all: there is no girl. So this sounds kind of interesting. It doesn't give too much away from the blurb. I think this is a YA book, and it's quite a short read. So I've ordered this from the library to pick up, and I may get to it. I'm probably veering between going with Disability Visibility or reading this book. I probably won't manage to fit in both within the month of April, but I hope to get to both of them at some point in the future, if not. And then category 3, the prompts are: read a book by an autistic author, read a text about gaming accessibility, read a middle grade, or read a book with your favourite colour on the cover. So the books that I am thinking about reading for this one, there's actually 2 books that I'm thinking of reading. So again, looking to kind of tick 2 of the prompts. The first one I'm thinking about reading is Like a Charm by Elle McNicholl. This book is going to be available in the UK on the Audible Plus catalogue in mid-April, so if I can get to it within April, I'm hoping to listen to this one. I have read Elle McNicholl's first book, which is called A Kind of Spark, which I would highly recommend to anybody. These are classed as, I think, middle grade books, but I think they can be equally enjoyed by an adult audience. Elle McNicholl is a neurodivergent author, and the characters that she tends to write about are also neurodivergent. So my understanding of Like a Charm is that it's a bit of a fantasy book and it's based in Edinburgh, so I am looking forward to reading this because you can't tell from my accent, but I was actually born in Edinburgh and I am actually Scottish. I know you can't tell because I've got a very strong Yorkshire accent, but at one point when I was a little girl I had a very strong Scottish accent. And then a second book that I'm hoping to read for this category is for one that also is a middle grade book, is The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. I've been wanting an excuse to read this book for a while. I'm not really the target age group, but this book just looks so lovely. It's all about a tea dragon society, and I think it's all to do with tea tasting and doing nice things like going on picnics, but it's very much embedded within nature, and I believe it's got really great kind of representation within the characters, so this is a great excuse to pick up that book, so I've ordered that from the library as well. And then category 4, the prompts are: read a romance, read a book by an Asian author, or watch a video about disfigurement, or read a text outside or by a window. I am hoping to, again, maybe look at 2 different audiobooks for these prompts. So the first book that I'm thinking about listening to is The Reason I Jump by Naoki Higashida, and this is translated, and he's a Japanese author I think, and it's translated by Keiko, Yoshida and David Mitchell. And this book is all about the author's experience of growing up autistic. And then a second book that I'm thinking about listening to is Reasons You Shouldn't Love Me by Amy Trigg. This is actually a play, and it's available on the Audible Plus catalogue. So I have never actually don't think I've ever actually listened to a play on audio. So what I thought I would do is find a nice place to sit outside or sit in the window on a nice sunny day and sit and listen to a play. I thought that might be quite a nice experience. And I also just wanted to mention, if anybody is thinking of participating in this readathon and you're interested in watching any videos about disfigurement, I would really, really like to recommend Jen Campbell's YouTube channel. She is a booktuber, a long-standing booktuber who you probably know of her, but she has some excellent videos on her channel. She's an Own Voices author, so I will link her channel down below if that is something you'd be interested in, but I really would recommend her videos around disability and disfigurement. I really gained a lot of insight and a lot of understanding from watching her videos in the past. The other thing I just wanted to mention is that it is Autistic Awareness Month here in the UK in April, so it's really nice that there's a prompt to pick up a book by an autistic author within this readathon. Those are the books that I am planning to read in April for the Disability Readathon, or at least some of those I'm hoping to plan. I may not get to all of them. I'd love to know in the comments if you are planning to participate in the Disability Readathon this year, if you've read any of these books, if you've enjoyed them, or if there's any other books that you would recommend that would meet some of the prompts in this readathon. Please let me know in the comments down below. And just let me know how you are, what you're reading, how you're getting on. I hope you're doing okay. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye!